Welcome to the SYRAS video guides. This is the 6th video in the series, and in this guide we're going to focus on how you can do a double screening review with a disagreements review at the end. This guide assumes that you've already become familiar with the earlier topics of account management, importing your data, deduping your articles, and assigning your team, and the general screening process. This builds on top of those, so if you are unfamiliar with any of those, then go and watch those videos first. So here we have an example project. I've imported only 10 references just to make things simple and clearer in the example. So the documents are already imported. We have a single set. We don't need to get complicated there. And I have already invited the assistant, the research assistant or collaborator, and they've received and accepted their invitation. So we're all set up. If we have a look at the assignments inside the article set, you can see that they are assigned in there as well. So that's all done. So I'm going to play the part now of the administrator, who is one of the reviewers, and I will go and screen the same articles. What I'm going to do for demonstrating disagreements is the administrator is going to include and exclude alternating articles, and the collaborator will include and exclude a different set, and then we can be sure that we've got the disagreements that we were planning on. So you've already seen how the screening process works. I will include the first article. I'm going to comment on this second article. I'm not sure about this one, so I'm going to maybe flag that we need to do a reference check on that one, and I'm going to exclude it. And then I'll just carry on including, excluding alternate documents, just for purposes of the demonstration. So the administrator has finished their pass through the review, and you can see one of them didn't actually have a title, which does happen. So that's the administrator's screening part done for now. So I'm going to log out, and I will log back in as the collaborator. So let's pretend that we're the collaborator now. Now I've already received the invite, so we're not seeing it there at this time. And you can see that this collaborator has already received a few other invites, which you would have seen in the other videos. So being the collaborator, let's go in and do screen the same article set. Now, for the purpose of the demonstration, I'm going to include the first 5 document references, and I'm going to exclude the second 5, and then we can show the disagreements. So include the first one. Now I'm going to comment on this one as well. Let's say that as the collaborator, I'm not sure on this, but I'm erring on the side of including it. So I'll just say, check this refs. Not great English, but never mind. Check the refs. So I've also said that. So I'm going to include it, which is different from what the administrator did, although of course we don't know that at this point. So I'm going to keep including the first few, and then I'm going to exclude the rest. So there will be a lot of differences here. Hopefully you won't have so many differences in a real review. Okay, so the collaborator is finished, and we can return as the administrator and see how the process completes. So we'll log out as collaborator. Now let's return as the administrator. And double screening example, open that project, manage that project. Now what I wanted to show you before I do the final process was how the blinding works. If we return to the second article here with my comment on it as administrator, you can see that I can't see the other person's comments, not yet anyway. So let's go back to the project homepage, and what the collaborator can do now is they can create a subset from this, which is the set of disagreements. It's very simple, you just click go. So this will scan the chosen set for the disagreements between Collaborator's article ratings and create a new article set which you can use for a further screening session. And you can reassign that to the collaborators. But from what I've heard, disagreement reviews are often done face-to-face in the same room so people can really discuss it properly. But still, you can do it remotely by reassigning it to the collaborators in the same way as any other set. So if we open the disagreement set now, so we've now got a new article set in this section here called disagreements in all articles. And you can see that there were 4 disagreements, which sounds about right. I would have guessed 5. So let's go and have a look at those. So you can imagine now that the administrator and the collaborator are looking at this together, and we can choose whether to include or exclude them. So let's go and have a look at that. Let's just pretend that we're going to include them after all. Now we can see that this document here is the one that had the 2 comments on it, that had comments from both sides, and now we can see the comments together because we're in the disagreement set, so it's not blinded anymore. So we can see who said what, and we can even see what they selected. We may add in the ability to see what people have selected in all articles, but we haven't done that yet. Always interested to hear feedback and feature requests on things like that. So we can even add another comment to this as like a final decision between, if we were having an argument, a disagreement here, then we can put in the final decision here, which is, that we decided to include it. And there we go. So this is our final article set. Now, the last thing to do, once you've agreed and we've got our final article set, which is 4, we can now export them. And I showed you the screening snapshot before. This is different. Now we can actually export the articles themselves. Now, you would usually use this as the export that you will use to purchase the actual PDFs of the articles that you're going to review in the next stage. But that's beyond the scope of SYRAS. This allows you to export it in a couple of well-known formats. Again, if you need any more formats, then let us know and we can add encodings for those formats. So this just downloads a simple text file in RIS format of the original uploads with all the metadata. So that will help you purchase the documents. And that really completes the review cycle. If you need to do more cycles, you can go round and round and do this several times and combine it with other workflows. But that's the basic disagreement review. Hope that was useful. Thank you.